Hey, what's going on YouTube? Hey, welcome to Coffee Shop Chatter with Mr. Controversy. So, as you know, we got the presidential debate tomorrow night. So, you have a lot of people saying they're not. I don't know if they're not going to watch it, or they had no intentions of voting. That's on you, but I can tell you that's not a wise decision. If you're someone who's been making comments and complaining about what the economy looks like, issues we have with the border, you not being able to pay your rent, or you barely making ends meet, and then you say you're not voting, you might want to get your priorities straight. So tomorrow, they set these rules in place for former President Trump, and they is a pretty much they're as follows. They had to stand, which is fine for him. He's good. My problem with President Biden, I don't know if he's going to wander off. If I was, President Trump, I would have said, yeah, we could do it sitting down. And the reason I say that is, if you have paid attention to every event that required President Biden to sit down, he can't stay awake. He always falls asleep. He's nodding off. So, and this is within seconds. Now, mind you, they're on a time limit. That worked in his favor. So they're going to get a bottle of water. I'm not sure that bottle of water is supposed to last them the whole hour and a half. They get a piece of paper. They're going to get a pen. Can't have no notes. Again, works in the favor of Trump because he's good at talking off the cuff. Biden needs a teleprompter. Biden needs index cards. He needs something to get him going. I have yet to see him just be able to talk in his own without reading something, to the point where he's reading out the actual prompts of where it says either stop, period, whatever. So that's another issue. So what I think about this whole entire debate, it's a waste of time. Was a waste of Trump's time, because I don't think they're getting enough time to actually speak on something. I guarantee you, the only thing Biden's going to come up is, the conviction, which nobody to this day can still say what he was convicted for. You saying, oh well, he paid Stormy Daniels money? Did he pay it, or did Cohen pay it? How many people, entertainers and actors and actresses or have you, have NDAs, even some of these newscasters who have NDAs that someone signed because they had something on them and they paid them off. So do we get rid of NDAs altogether and say, okay, NDAs are no longer legal? If a person wants, there's no more out of court settlements, you actually have to now come, within the judicial system and let them handle it, and they determine it. Is that where we're heading at now? So you wipe that off. The narrative is, oh well, he's gonna be like Hitler, or he's gonna be a dictator, or he's gonna be out for revenge and all this stuff. Everything that they said, or what they're saying now, is the same things that they said when he ran the first time. But a lot of you don't pay attention to that because you're so easily manipulated by the media. And you can sit there and say you're not. You are. You're manipulated by social media. You're manipulated by the news. At one time, the news had to print facts. They no longer have to do that. Now you have this misinformation. You have this disinformation. And I guarantee you, I know for a fact, between today and tomorrow, there's going to be a large influx of things getting pushed out over social media, over Twitter, which is now X, over Facebook. That's the stuff that's going to start coming out now. Because what it is to manipulate the American public. And I'm going to tell you, people are so gullible. A lot of things I didn't believe in, but when you do it and you've done it to people legally outside of the US, and you see how you can make people do things that they didn't want to do just by posting things on Twitter, broadcasting messages over their over their radio stations, broadcasting things over their TV stations, using their people to talk within their language and put that message out that you want put out. Sounds familiar? But no one pays attention to that because you get so wrapped up in your feelings, just like most of you vote based off your feelings. You don't vote based off of policy, laws, or what the individual that's running, is saying that they're going to do. You vote based off of what the media tells you. What people like doggone Whoopi Goldberg, them old birds up on The View. Those are the people that you listen to. Instead of trying to formulate your own ideas and putting all that stuff to the side and say, okay, what is this person about? And what is it they can do for me? Or I think they can do for me. Because anyone can always promise you something and don't do it. But the difference here is, and it's something that is a rare occasion that a lot of people probably never lived. I know I've never seen it. You have a current president going up against the previous president. So you had 4 years under Trump, and you've seen how the economy was. You've seen how everything was working. Gas was cheaper. Groceries were cheaper. I can tell you for a darn fact, my stocks were doing way better, much better. My 401ks, much better. So now you have someone in there now who probably can't tell you the time of day it is. Probably don't even know if he's on Earth. And I'm just being honest. People who's trying to give him credit, it's like, oh, well, he brought down the unemployment rate. Bull. He didn't. Some of you have to use common sense. Prior to him coming in, there was what? COVID. People was either working from home. A lot of people was either fired, quitting, what have you. They started getting handouts from the government. They realized, I'm actually making more money not going to work just by staying home. So that drove the unemployment rate up. The unemployment rate went up because you had so many people out of work due to COVID. And once they start loosening up all these, restrictions and the amount of people could be in it, in this one place and all this other nonsense, the unemployment rate started to drop. So now you have this thing with the borders that's opening up. You have people from El Salvador, Brazil, Mexico, or you have a lot of Hispanic speaking, a lot of Spanish speaking countries are coming here. You have people from China coming here, which if you actually looked at my videos, I did something on that about the Chinese coming through the border and the little cyber cells that they had set up for the past 3 years and what they were doing. So you have them coming in. You have people from Afghanistan, all these other countries come over here. They just arrested 8 guys, well, 7 guys and 1 female, who was part of a cell. So all these, whether they got RPGs here, I'm know for a fact they got weapons here. It's not that hard to create any type of explosive device. You actually can go to Home Depot. I Like I said, my previous job in the military, like we were trained to do a lot of things, and we had to know how to do it for particular reasons. And it's like, oh yeah, you go to Home Depot, you get this, this, and this, and this, and you just make you something right there in your garage. At one time, the thing was kids making pipe bombs. They was getting stuff from their local hardware stores. So now you have that going on. You got that going on with the border, and you have the Democrats trying to put that on the Republicans. Hey, they don't want to do nothing shut down. But if you do some research, that's a, a lot of y'all, because I'm not gonna say me, because I like to research and find out things. A lot of you are ignorant to the things and policies and executive orders and everything that were put in place by certain presidents, and how another president come behind them and they rescind them. So there was an executive order that Trump put that addressed small businesses, that actually was help giving them money to keep them in business. Addressing the border. Those are two that President Biden rescinded. President Trump was giving money, a large sum of money to HBCUs, so they had to come back and beg every darn year. Biden cut that. But yet, we found a way to give Taiwan, Israel, and Ukraine $96 billion. Who you think is paying? Who you think is paying for that? We are. Our tax dollars. Our tax dollars is being used for aid for everyone else, but for some reason we can't seem to take care of our homeless vets, our homeless people in general, create jobs, shut down the border. For some reason we can't do none of that, but we have $96 billion. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, the U.S. just makes it rain on every country except for its damn own. And they've got you in a little tizzy over which is actually a misdemeanor for Trump, but he's a felon. Well, do some more research. There are states that allow felons to vote, even the ones that are in prison. They vote by an absentee ballot. But you don't know that either because you don't do no research. You just believe everything that the media tell you. And until a lot of you start waking up and understand of how you're being manipulated, you're going to be, you want to call it the matrix or whatever you want to call it, that's where you're going to remain at. You vote against your own self-interest out of emotions. Somebody could say, hey, I'm going to do this. It's guaranteed. I'm going to just give an example. Say Trump is like, I'm guaranteeing minimum wage is going to be $30. Or he guarantees something, and it's something that he can do. But because you're in your feelings and you're doing what the media is telling you to do, you're not going to vote for him. But it's going against your own interests. And that's how a lot of you vote. You vote out of emotions instead of using logical thinking. So I would implore you to at least watch the debate. And while you're watching it, or prior to, what I like to do, I like to write down things that actually I care about, which is number one for me, is the border. Because the border affects your economy. And if you don't think it does, then you might want to go back to high school, take some economics and government, Because when your border is open, like it is, and you have all these illegal immigrants coming in, because none of them did the right way, all these people is not claiming asylum. To get asylum, that means you're in fear of your life, which normally is someone who's dealing somewhere in politics or they stand up against they're very boisterous with their voice about their government of things that's going on, and they're afraid that people within the government or an area is trying to take them out. So if you a woman with 4 kids, but you're seeking asylum for what? Most of them that's coming here is for a better living. They want a job, which is not one of the requirements for you to get asylum. But when you have people coming in through the border, and this one, hope some of you can grasp this. People who come in through the border means what? Cheap labor. If you didn't notice, when we had that large influx, when they was coming in, Tyson Chicken shut down. One of the large ones shut down. I ain't gonna say laid off. They fired everybody. Because being laid off means the possibility of you coming back. And they were not coming back. So they got fired. And then, so miraculously, Tyson stands back up. And guess who they're hiring? Go to the chicken factory in Arkansas. And you will hear so much Spanish in there, you're going to think you're in Mexico. Because I've gone by there when my daughter was living up there. And I was like, man, what is all these Mexicans do around? Yeah. Found out from her mom, oh no, the whole plant. Because it's cheap labor. For what they pay one of us, they easily getting 4 or 5 of them. Because of the way that they live. They will have 3 or 4 families living in one house until they pay that house off. And then they will go get another house. And then they will split the house in half so they have fewer people in one house, but it's still balanced out. And all the women are working together and the men are working together and they bring the money to the house. And when that first house is paid off, the people in that first house, yeah, they're taking care of the bills and everything is in there, but they're also helping the families in that second house pay that house off. So now they paid off 2 houses out of 4 families. So now they thin that out a little bit more. They get a third house. And next thing you know, all 4 families have their own house. And the reason I know they do that is because my driver was from Houston. He's a Mexican guy. And he explained it to me. He said, no, Sarge, Torres was real. That's why I liked him. That's why I have him as my driver. One, we both kind of grew up in the same type of environment. I mean, both 2-parent household, but it's just an environment as far as the gangs, all this other stuff. That's why I wanted him to kind of get him away from that stuff and get him more focused on the actual career so he wouldn't go out there and crash out like some of these other people. But he broke that down to me. And that's how they operate. But they're one of the very few within the U.S. I'll put it that way. There's other ethnicities that will do it, but they're really known for it because people like to crack jokes on it. But they're smart when they do it. And while you cracking jokes and you sitting here renting, or you're purchasing the house, you still don't own the house. I'm gonna put it that way. You don't own it. You're just paying a different type of rent until you get that deed in your hand. Because you can argue and say, oh no, it's my house. Actually, it's not. Lose your job and see what happened. And you can't pay that mortgage. It's just like you paying rent. You're getting booed up out of it. That bank gonna snatch the house from you if you put it in foreclosure, and they're gonna sell it to somebody else. But like I said, write down what's important to you. You leave your little space. You write one. You can put Biden, Trump, whatever, and just jot little notes of what they said. So everybody knows Trump has this agenda. I think it's like Agenda 47 he has out. So I'm gonna actually drop the link down in the description. So if you want to go and look for yourself, But I'm gonna go ahead and pull that up just so you can see some of the things that he's talking about as far as what he's trying to do, and a lot of stuff I actually agree with that he has on there. So this is the actual website. You know, got the cartels, but then it's, you got Indian veteran homelessness, no welfare for illegal aliens, which is a big thing. I mean, he has a lot of good things on there. You know, you just you just gotta take the time and go to the website. Really, that's all you have to do. And I would say, even as far as taking some of his points that he has on there, and then write some of those down and see if he actually brings it up. But do something to kind of educate yourself and stop jumping on the bandwagon because the media is telling you what to do. And you can sit there and say, oh, they're not telling me what to do. Yes, the hell they are. They are telling you what to do. Because they got you feeling a certain type of way about someone that you don't know that didn't do anything to you. And then when you ask people why you don't like him, oh, because he said this. How did it affect you in any way? Did it take any money out of your pocket? Did it put any hardship on you? Did it cause you to lose your job? Are you paying more? Did gas prices go up because he said something? And I don't know if it's a generational thing. And I can't even say that because some people my age that's just as gullible as some of these kids out here. And I just look at a bunch of y'all like toddlers running around, screaming, and don't know what the hell's going on around you. So I have one question, and then I'm gonna close it out. So come tomorrow night, which Joe Biden we're going to get? Because I done seen a whole bunch of versions. And see a lot. I just chalk it up to being in the military, and when you do certain operations and you have to go in quick to grab stuff and come out, you're trained and you're taught to do it a lot. They make you do it a lot, and it's just until folks says make you doing it over and over and over and over. To whereas you pay attention to the smallest detail and you keep that in your brain. So when you have to come back and you have to do a debrief, you can tell everything you've seen. So if you pay attention, these are all the different versions that's been out there so far. I've seen some of his skin is like super tight. I look at his ears, but his ears not actually looking the same. I'm like, why are you always putting shades on when you really don't need it? But hey, get down in the comments, like, and hit the subscribe button right over there. Just like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. A lot of you know I do go back and forth with you on comments because I like to hear what other people think. I don't believe, nor do I think I'm always right. I like to learn stuff from other people. If you know something I don't know, or you say something, but make sure you speak in facts. Okay? Because if I know about them, I'm going to call you out on it. And just because you tell me something, don't think I'm not going to know how they do everybody else. I'm going to fact check you. I'm going to look it up and start and research it myself to see if you know what you're talking about. And if you don't, I'm going to come back and let you know that you're wrong. And then I'm even going to drop you the link of like, hey, yeah, you might want to go read this because you were completely wrong. So that's all I got. Enjoy yourself. Hope you watch the debate tomorrow. Can't nobody broadcast it. CNN got on lockdown. They're ready going to try to ramrod Trump. You got Jake Tapper who does not like him, period. You have two CNN people. I don't know why they didn't do one Fox person, one CNN, put a neutral ground place, and then let them go out that way. But hey, it is what it is. It's politics. That's just the games that we play in the U.S. So enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you around. Peace out.